What are you doing? Go for it. So I guess on Oxide, it's LRM against AoV, and spawning in the top left-hand corner as the blue Zerg, we have LRM Bakaru. And in the bottom right-hand corner as the purple Terran, we have Poetic AoV. So obviously Baku, you guys should know, he is A- Zerg. Longtime staple of LRM, and Poetic is of course the brother of Elegant, the legendary caster, and he is a B- Terran.
Yep, this is week 3 of Swedish Brood War Initiative's Team League. Very excited to come back, and we got some good games today. As he said, the first game will be LRM versus AoV, and the second game will be IWL versus SB/Pain. So, we did not get a chance to see Bakaru last week. He was scheduled to play, but the set ended a little bit too quick for him to come out. So, Bakaru fans will be able get a chance to see him now. Always a fan favorite. And last time we saw Poetic go for some cheesy play versus Oxurg. So it looks like he's going to be playing a little bit more standardly against Bakaru here.
It looks like Baku will be 12 hatching.
Yeah. It does. And Bakaru's also sending out that initial scouting drone. So it looks like he does recognize that that Poetic cheesed last game versus, or in his last game versus Oxurg. A little bit fearful of that, but not fearful enough to not still go for the hatchery anyway. Looks like it's going to be absolutely fine this game, though.
Yeah, that's a good point, because generally, like, on 4-player maps, you'll send out the drone scout either way to look for it, but a lot of times on 2-player maps, you'll just go ahead and let the Overlord scout, because the Overlord arrives at a decent time to confirm that Terran is taking their natural. And Baku has now arrived, scouting around with the drone a little bit, harassing the SCV, building the barracks, and of course Poetic's SCV also arriving, and seeing that things look no, actually the gas is a little bit faster. It's not going to be 3 hatches before gas, so we might see some 2-hatch play from Baku here.
Would be kind of cool to see some 2-hatch Mutalisk. This map, it's a little bit harder to do 2-hatch on this map, I think. I think Mutalisks are slightly weaker than other maps, but as far as maps go, this map is certainly serviceable to it. The natural is decently exposed. There's a good amount of maneuverability for the Mutalisks. It's not as if 2 turrets by the barracks cluster are going to just shut down all movement by the Mutalisks. So there'll be opportunities for it.
Yeah, and there's also a cliff behind the natural. You know, it's maybe not quite a match point, but it does have like a cliff back there to get behind.
Right. I wasn't noticing this before, but does it look like to you that the spacing between the mineral line and the cliff at the top base is a little bit farther away than the spacing at the bottom base?
Yeah, kinda,
it almost seems as if meter harass would be easier against the bottom base than it would against the top. I'm imagining things.
Yeah, I'm trying to draw like with my see what percentage of the screen it takes up. It's close. It's probably pretty close to the same.
Alright.
But you're right, it definitely looks bigger at the top for sure. And the lings are out for Baku, and he's actually opted to make 6 lings.
Poetic's bunker should be just in time before the lings come, but even if it wasn't finished, that number of Marines with some kind of SimCity shouldn't have had an issue with 6 lings anyway.
So Baku is grabbing his nat gas, and the Spire is at 200 HP, so it is going to be some 2-hatch Muta from Baku, so we'll see how his Muta micro has been going. This is not a build I remember seeing Baku do, so this should be fun.
Right. And the eBay is already done for Poetic. It looks like he wanted to go for a fast +1 build. It does mean that he'll have the opportunity to make make turrets a little bit sooner than he would otherwise. And there's an SCV scout coming in, drones blocking on the ramp, but no, they were just transferring, not in place to block the SCV. So the SCV will scout out the fast Spire, and since he already has the eBay down, he'll have plenty of time to get up as many turrets as he thinks is necessary. But using a lot of minerals right now to throw down the 2 or 3 extra barracks. Nope, he already started the missile turret. Okay. So he's scared by the 2-hatch Mutalisk, and he's going to be getting some very early missile turrets before the Spire finishes.
Yeah, that is very early. Definitely doesn't need them fast, and that's a little bit suboptimal because that will obviously delay slightly his barracks timing, which might make it a little harder for him to deal with the Muta.
Yeah, he could have squeezed out 1 more barracks with that 150 minerals, and that might have helped him a little bit more. But hey, 2-hatch Mutalisk is a scary thing, and in fact, Bakuryu going for a very far away hidden third. Interesting. Now, typically, when you see Zerg players go for 2-hatch Mutalisk and then take a third base, it's an all-in, and they'll get the +1 attack up. Yep, he's getting the +1 attack upgrade. So it looks like Bakuryu is just going to go all-in with the Mutalisk, taking this Expo, 1, because less likely Terran will find it, and 2, because it's a little bit faster for the Mutalisk to fly in. As reinforcement. The first round is coming, and Bakuryu, very surprising to see him go for a +1 Mutalisk all-in.
Yeah, and Stim is just finished. Now, Stim is almost always research first, so that may mean that either Poetic did things differently and got range first, or he does not have range yet. I have not been able to tell yet, but it is possible that Poetic does not have Marine range started on his academy yet, and that would be a big issue if it is not started. It is not started. He just now starts it, and that's pretty late because we're at 6:45. This is fairly late.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit late, but because he has so many turrets, he might be able to stall out against a relatively small number of Mutalisks until the range is done. But he's going to have to be very careful. There's a lot of open space around here, which gives the Marines some kind of opportunity to stim and run in. Mutalisks taking a lot of turret fire, but they do pick up 2 SCVs. Turn around, didn't quite get that third one. All right. So
I really like this turret position. This is really good. Every time the Muta run in, they're taking 3 or 4 shots from the turrets.
Yeah. Baki recognizes that. He's still going in. He is getting some SCV kills, but he can't continue to do that forever. Just looking at the control group of Mutalisks, they're all starting to get kind of low here. But the next wave is excuse me, the next wave is ready. The third base in the bottom left is finished, so we'll be producing more gas.
Find gas from there, yeah. For lots of Muta. And Poetic's range did just finish. Oh god, he's finding 2 Muta Baku that go down. They were low on health, but that is less than ideal.
Another one. Wow, using scan, getting some more shots off. Bakuryu really has thrown away a lot of Mutalisks now. I think that's 5 total, just to Marines running up and stimming, which is really rough for him. It's not a huge window. You don't have a huge window to be going +1 Mutalisks, and yeah, that window might even be closed. I think Poetic has to make a serious mistake here, or Bakuryu might have to just transition into Guardians as an only option.
Alright, and now Baku has the +1 done, so we'll see if he's a little more aggressive. It's possible he was a little bit waiting for +1 before really getting into the micro, and that maybe he easily cleans up those Marines, no problem. And of course, the +1 amplifying the bounce a little bit of the Muta as well. And now Poetic is out with another small group, but this has no medics. He needs to recollect. He is engaging these guys with no medics. That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. Baku can just micro against this and have this be efficient. Oh god, let's run the Muta in again. Baku having a few sleeper moments here with the Muta.
And Poetic is playing with fire here. I mean, he's getting the pickoffs on the Mutalisks, and that's great, but man, if he loses his Marine force again, he's just not going to have enough stuff to defend. The Mutalisks could be able to take on the turrets directly. Like that. Ouch. Bounce kills 5 more Marines and then another 3.
That's crazy. That said, Poetic does have 5 Raxes.
5 Raxes. They've actually been dark for quite a while. Now just starting again. He's slipping a little bit on the production, possibly saving up money for something else. He does have a starport out and a factory with an add-on, but he hasn't gotten anything with the add-on yet.
And no science facility either.
Okay, there we go.
He's coming to the main, and he's going to try to pick off the turrets near the barracks. We'll get one of them. And of course, that's a great set of turrets that you can pick off, because then you have position over the barracks, and you can force Terran to kind of fight you on his terms. And if you do kill off a lot of the Marines, then you can kill all the reinforcing spawning Marines, which is lovely.
Yep, I think he's doing that right now, picking off a fresh wave of Marines, and the Marines are just going to keep coming up, but one at a time, they're not going to be able to do anything. Now bringing back the entire army, are you going to actually be able? No, there's no way he can pick off a barracks.
Yeah, now Poetic had to run back, but Baku knows he's forced him back now, and the Muta do go ahead and evacuate the main. Turrets obviously need to be rebuilt there, as that is such an important location. And the science facility is now done for Poetic, who is also getting control tower and stuff, and getting ready to get those vessels out. And that's really what can start to put an end to this 2H Muta harass, as irradiate obviously pretty devastating against Muta.
So, Bakuryu clearly has a lot of Mutalisks, and if you noticed, he isn't using 2 control groups or anything like that. He's not using all his Mutas at the same time, but he's using the extra Mutalisks just to constantly, ooh, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
constantly take out the low health ones, have them sit back, regain health, and then bring the new ones in, so he just constantly has a group of 11 full health Mutalisks at all times. So that's the way he's using the extra Mutalisks. It's, I mean, obviously you'd like to see Super Gosu Mega Double Mutalisk Micro like Jadong, but if you're going to have this many Mutalisks, this is the appropriate way to use them.
And now Poetic again feeling comfortable enough to put a little bit of pressure out on the map. Looks like he has about a control group and half Marines and a few medics, but Baku is just going to go for the counter. There's actually a decent number of Marines defending because there are so many barracks. I don't know if this is working out for Baku. And yeah, he's going to have to leave. That's a lot of dead Mutalisks. He might be down to less than a control group now of them. Although he does have 3 Sunkens at the front. So with the Muta, I don't think Poetic necessarily has a large enough army to bust. Of course, Poetic also doesn't know about the side base from Baku.
I don't know if he does, because if you look on the minimap, he scanned the top right. He suspects something's up. I don't know if he scanned bottom left. Oh, he totally knows.
Oh, Baku's sunken position is really unfortunate here. It doesn't defend. It defends one ramp, but not the other. So Poetic can just slip in behind the hatchery and kill it, no problem. And Baku is out of position for this.
Not coming back. Oh, this is going to be a huge attack.
A lot of dead drones. So here we go, doing exactly what I was talking about, slipping in behind the mineral line, denying all mining, and should be able to target fire down the hatchery from there. Yes, isn't even range in the sunken. So now Baku is going to need great micro. If it's great, he might be able to save the hatchery, but man, is that a lot of Marine medic. Those lurker upgrade that he was working on right now would be sorely desired down here. We'll see if it's good enough, though. He is whittling down the count. And he might have enough from his stack that he can continue going against this, as it's down to just 5 or 6 now. He picks off 2 more, he can camp it, and it looks like Baku is actually going to save the hatch. I was worried he was too out of position, but Poetic was a little bit slow to go in there and target the hatch, and now Baku camps the Marines and does clean this up. Big save for Baku there, I think.
He did finally finish the lurker upgrade, so he is going first. He is slowly transitioning out of this. And pretty similar supply. Zerg's a little bit ahead, which is actually a pretty good advantage for him. And he has a lot of Mutalisk out on the field.
Yeah,
it just feels like if there's one slip up from Poetic, the Mutalisk can be able to kill off everything. But he does have 2 science vessels out. They both have energy for Irradiate, and Irradiate should be done.
Alright, so here comes Baku with a massive group of 2 Mutalisks. Again, this backstabbing style at the main. And Poetic will almost certainly need to return from this, as 2 groups of Muta are going to devastate the turrets and stuff that are in here. And here we go, some Marines and Medics are returning. He's actually leaving some of his army on the field. Irradiate needs to go down with these vessels. Baku chases one, gets it. One Muta is heavily irradiated, though. And Baku's not splitting it. This is terrible damage. Oh my god, almost all the Muta are dying now, and there's only 4 or 5 left, maybe that's 6, and a second Irradiate might be there on this. No, doesn't have enough health. But again, the Marine medic group returning to that back base, and there is no lurker, and this time, too many Muta have died, I think, from Baku to save this. He doesn't have the ramp blocked off with lurkers, so I'm pretty sure this time the 3rd is going to die, as this is an even bigger Marine medic group, and he immediately runs in there. He's actually killing the Sunkens, which is totally unnecessary. I don't understand this at all. Baku's going to lose all of these drones, though, in the back, unfortunately. And down goes the Sunken. Again, I don't understand the reason for that, but he'll still get the hatchery before the Muta can make it back.
Not enough energy for the Irradiate, but the Mutalisk... I think they wanted to get that single shot off on the science vessel. It's going to cost him a few more. Are these lurker eggs? They are lurker eggs morphing. Can they kill off the lurkers as soon as they spawn? Oh, 1, 2. Nice, getting all of them down.
So that is really
big economic damage to both sides. But I think Poetic came out a little bit ahead.
Oh, definitely. And Baku is making a bunch of lurkers at the natural, unfortunately. Had they been at the 3rd, he could have just put them on top of the ramp and been fine, but a little too late, and now Poetic is really just rolling. We can see he's 110 supply to only 70 of Baku, which is a nice 40 supply advantage for the Terran. And Baku is without a 3rd against a 2-base Terran. And I suspect we'll see a command center start here soon from Poetic, as his main mineral line is getting a little thin. Muta again returning. Oh, the command center is actually already floating out. Muta is just being a little bit annoying in the main, harassing supply depot, but it's only 6 or 7 of them, so not that terrifying. And of course, now Poetic also has a tank in his army, which will allow him to knock away at those lurkers. And that is a lot of Marines now, although, never mind, there's some more medics coming up. I was like, only 1 medic makes that not that scary, but with 5 or 6, that changes the ballgame, and that looks to be possibly as many as 3 control groups of Marines. And Poetic is now establishing his 3rd.
Interesting build decision from Poetic. Normally, when you go for the Fast +1, you transition to mech by now. But he didn't transition to mech. He built a 2nd starport and then never used the factory. He got the add-on and then just didn't use it because he feel that anything is necessary if the opponent didn't have lurkers. Finally starting to get siege mode and tanks now. But I think that he was planning on going mech and then just decided, no, I'm going to play more of an SK Terran style. He didn't deal with these Mutalisks, though. There's still Mutalisks attacking his
with the lurkers. Poetic doesn't move back, and the lurkers on numbers of Marines, but it still might be enough to push through. But that was really great for Baku. And Irradiate is dropped. That's a lot of vessels, too. It's going to radiate through those lurkers really fast. Hive is done. Consume is either not started or done, and I'm thinking the answer is not started, but Baku is really going to have to delay for this. And actually, no, he's going for an engagement, and Poetic runs into it. The Lings actually trap a lot of the Marines very nicely, and now this push is no longer looking scary at all. Poetic can still clear out the lurkers with these tanks, although one does go down to lurker spines. And Baku, if he can hold on to this, he'll still be behind, but at least he won't die here, and he'll have a chance to get back in the game. Poetic is seizing up a few tanks, forcing Baku to pull back, and there's so few Marines, he can just run in with Lurker Ling and finish this here now. The burrow from the Lurker, I don't know, is ideal, but the Marines will actually not go down. That did not work out for Baku for whatever reason. It looked like they kind of got trapped and couldn't get to the tanks.
Coming in.
He's going to be able to deny the third.
That's big.
If he scans.
Poetic just lost all of his science vessels.
Oh, we did just lose all of them. Oh, that's a little bit sloppy, to say the least. Those vessels are quite key, especially as soon as Baku gets a Defiler on the map, which is out now. Consume is going to finish, so Baku's going to be able to live this. But he needs to get a lurker over to this third base, or it's going to be denied. In fact, it's going to be forced to cancel right now, as he is too slow getting over there. I do believe, yeah. He's going to have to cancel. Actually, I don't think he can get there in time, but he's trying. But all Poetic has to do is no, force to cancel.
This could be really dangerous for Poetic here. If the Defiler wanted to move up, they could cast a Swarm and trap off that section of tank. But even with Swarm, I'm not sure if that's quite big enough of an army if Poetic micros it correctly. It looks like Baku's not going to take the opportunity to trap him in. It would have been a risky play, but considering how aggressive Baku's been this game, I wouldn't have been that surprised if he had tried for it.
And Poetic making double dropships in the starport, and interestingly is sticking with just Marines, just going to go SK Terran, and he does have obviously large reinforcements, and they're going to be, if it stays on top of his macro, they're going to be huge reinforcements now, because he's on 3 base, can have lots of barracks. One of the tanks getting trapped, running back, and this is usually the point where you start to phase out the tanks because they're just kind of slow and unwieldy, and they constantly get picked off by this usage of Dark Swarm.
Yeah. Something we haven't mentioned this game. Right now, Bakuryu has 0-2, and he's getting close to 1-2, where Poetic, on the other hand, has 3-2 on the way. But his upgrades have been really good. He got the double engineering bay kind of early, relatively early. He's only got the first one early, and then the second one came pretty soon after that. So his upgrade's very, very nice compared to Bakuryu, who has not had the gas or really any kind of economy to keep up with the upgrades. So we should see these Marines just absolutely tear through Ling armies when they're not under Swarm. It looks like he's moving into position again to deny that third base from Bakuryu. Oh, the Scourge gets one hit off.
Good Dark Swarms, though, falling over everything. Poetic does have to run back, but he has loaded up these dropships, and this is going to be really, really hard for Baku to deal with, unfortunately. As his unit count is just so low, he's just going to have a lot of stuff spawning from his hatcheries. Dropships will be seen by the Overlords, I assume, yes, definitely. And the Lings might just be on top of these drops enough to deny them. Yeah, he's got to stop this. This is not going to work out.
Oh.
Got to come back at a time when Baku is less expecting. But again, 135 supply to just 55. I think that Baku is only just going to be able to hold on. I don't know if he can do much more than just hold on. He's actually picking off one of the tanks at the front with these Lings, but really needs to get these Dark Swarms up. And he does get one up, but the Lings are still falling. Lurker's coming under Swarm, and Baku now down to just 46 supply. So things looking pretty much impossibly grim at this point for Baku, and Poetic looking like he is going to put AoV on the board with some points.
Yeah, this is really rough for Bakuryu. Poetic looking like he's going to try a drop again, Baku has set up a hidden third base top right, but it'll be easily killed if it ever gets scanned out. It looks like he's dropping the Marines much earlier this time, can pick off the scouting overlords, can get them all down. And Baku, he needs Swarm to deal with this. There's way too many Marines for just the Lings. I don't think the Lings got a single hit off there. Just sacrificed them all, and now he's going to start losing things.
And the Defiler Mount is going to go down. That is really, really bad. That is kind of the lifeline that's been keeping Baku in this game. And with that going down, what can he do? It's going to be really hard, especially once this last Defiler or two is irradiated. Yeah, there's none back in the natural. So this game just got ridiculously problematic for Baku, as he can't make any more Defilers and doesn't appear to have any in production. Yeah, he does not. So they could be really close to the end for Baku here. As we see, his main is totally ravaged. His natural is the only thing now that has mining drones. I think Baku is looking pretty dead.
Yeah. Is the Spire gonna go down too? Yeah, it looks like the Spire. Oh nope, Spire survives with 7 hit points, but losing the evolution chambers, losing the Defiler, now losing all the drones. And it looks like Poetic's moving towards that top right base. He did discover that it exists. He's just going to pick that off.
Yeah, and Baku down to just 37 supply. And Poetic's money is getting a little bit out of control now. I don't know if he has enough racks, actually. I don't know if 8's really enough to support. Now the third base from Baku is going to go down, so that leaves him with only the 3 drones mining minerals in the natural. That is the extent of Baku's economy at this point. 34 supply against 132. So I think Baku has like one last final Lurkerling Defiler counterattack in him. And then I'm going to have to assume he will GG at that point, because his eco is 3 drones mining. That is, let me restate that. That is worse than the eco at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
So here we go. Lurkerling running in. He needs the Swarm to go down though if he's going to do anything. There's actually no defense here. He might kill some of the SCVs from Poetic, and he's going to deny mining at this base, but when your eco is that low as well, Poetic's actually not even responding to this. So either he's like, you know what, I've got this game won, I don't care, or what? Pretty nice plays on the vessels, but...
He's denying mining, but that's actually all the mining. Poetic is not mining at all right now. I mean, he's getting up a 4
Actually, yeah, that is a bit strange. That is a bit strange. He needs to get that up. Poetic is again going for one of these double drops, this time a few fire bats included. Problem is, Baku has 28 supply, there's literally nothing here to deal. He's trying to make drones, but he has nothing that can defend these drops.
Another plague.
Like, there literally don't seem to be any units. I think I see 2 lurkers making... Oh, but if he scourges the dropships, that'll work out. Come 2 lurkers running forward. The Scourge going in, they'll get one of the dropships, which unloads a bunch of fire bats. And Poetic actually running away from just 1 lurker. That's a bit surprising. Yeah, that is pretty funny. Poetic is actually not mining right now. That's a pretty funny situation. But I think he's so far ahead that even the fact that he's not mining is not going to be that big of a deal.
Yeah,
he's just like unstoppable.
The medic's not with the fire bats, so we can pick off 1.
Still enough to clean everything up. Baku making 2 last rounds of lings. Make that, yeah, 2 last rounds of lings. He has sort of gotten economy the natural, but it's still really bad. And oh, Poetic actually lets the command center 3rd burn down.
Unfortunately, fire bats not very good at killing buildings, so it's taking them a little while to do it, but there's just nothing Baku you can do. He did make more drones, so he's mining with more than 3 now. Let's step forward. Slightly.
And the fire bats under the swarm killing off some of these lings that are popping, but I don't know, Baku's so starved. 19 supply. I think at this point, Poetic can just kill everything with Irradiate. Like, even individual lings, I think, can just be killed with Irradiate.
Pretty close.
Probably gonna Eraser here. Yeah, here we go, Eraser. Let's see if Baku got Burrow.
Oh,
Oh,
radiating
wow.
individual
6
scourge.
Scourge, though. And
There we
GG
go,
from Baku.
GG.
No response to the Irradiate. And Poetic has surprised everyone by taking down Baku in the first game.
Wow.
I am quite surprised. I know Baku played a little bit out of his kind of standard zone, doing 2 Hatch Muta. But I'm still quite surprised that Poetic was able to take that, as that is a pretty large skill gap, and Baku is a very consistent player by and large.
Yeah, that was a very un-Baku-like game.
So now we're going to go to game 2 on Coliseum.
Yep. According to the chart, it's going to be True Touch versus Mortician.
Well, I think we know who's favorited this matchup, or this match.
Yeah. I don't know who Mortician is. Anyway,
Neither
in the
do
bottom
I.
left, as the white Zerg, it is LRM's True Touch, and in the bottom right, as the blue Terran, AoV's Mortician, back-to-back TBZs, good stuff. And as you said before, the map is Coliseum.
Yeah, I don't know who Mortician is. That would be nice to know, but I haven't heard of AoV having any super strong players, like, you know, A-A type guys. And of course, True Touch doesn't need much introduction. He's been one of the stronger Zergs in the scene for a while now. I think he's especially known for his ZVZ. Recently, he was like 4-0 against Ziki on Icy Cup ladder, in ZVZ, although recently Ziki's won the last like 6 or 7 of them, so he's even the score back up. And True Touch, I believe, has hit recently like 22 or 2300 on Fish. He's among the highest rated foreigners on there, aside from Ziki. And Hacklebeast, we do see that middle scout, just presumably checking for proxy barracks and whatnot, making sure he doesn't die to anything silly.
Yep. Went for overpull?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Going for an overpull. We're going to get out some pretty early lings here. On this map, it is possible to make completely tight walls, and completely tight walls that give you a natural behind it. So if Terran wants to just wall off and not have to deal with too much ling aggression, it's not super hard for them on this map. So probably the right idea for True Touch.
Oh dear, oh dear. True Touch is making a creep colony on the creep. SCVs need to be pulled for this, and they are pulled. So here we go, the lings are not quite on the way. Actually, wait, are these going to be enough? It's going to get a little dicey. Lings of True Touch, where are they, though? They need to come if it's going to happen. So
Nah, they'll get it. It's fine.
Maybe he just intends to cancel this. No, it's already finished. That is interesting, but yeah, it is really low on health. And it goes down. Oh, he canceled it, and when you cancel it, it has like less health. Or when it finishes, it has less health. But he's going to try again! And the creep is still there, and this time he's walled off. He will have to cancel the depot. A bunker is going down on the high ground, but I don't know if that's going to deal with this altogether. But he can't repair at the wall, and now SCVs are like,
oh, it is.
Okay, it's able to attack. Well, that's good. This is going to get interesting now. He can attack the top depot.
Only one Marine firing at it. It's not even going to be close to finishing. But Sunken Colonies do have a mischance up on high ground. So
yeah, he definitely can't take out the bunker, but what he was going to try to do is get the wall down, and he can kill the repairing SCVs with the sunken wall. It lives, although its health is dwindling, but there's 4 lings now attacking that depot. It looks like the repair right now is proving to be imba enough, and the sunken is gone. It just needs to bring another SCV or 2 up to repair. so that this supply depot doesn't go down. Bring a Marine to shoot at the Lings. This is getting close, though. Why is there no more repair? 70 health, 60 health, 50 health, 30, 20. The depot is down. The situation is a little bit more scary. There are several Marines in that bunker, though, so he's got enough to deal with this. But if True Touch just floods Lings, problems could be had here for Mortician, who has not finished this factory to get a Vulture out yet. Really needs that to finish if he wants to deal with this. Now, ungarrisoning the Marines, True Touch pulls back nicely, and a lot more Zergling reinforcements coming. There's not going to be speed anytime soon as the gas is not done, but True Touch running in here with the Lings. The micro is really nice from Mortician, although just as I say that, True Touch killing a few of the Marines, and he has recompleted that wall, so I think that's going to put a stop to the aggression from True Touch for now.
Well, he can't repair a supply depot that's not done, so the Lings, if the SCV goes the wrong direction, he could kill it all. No. Yeah, I wonder if Mortician would have been better served putting the bunker on the low ground. It should still be in range of the Sunken if he puts it behind the wall. And then he'd be able to use it to defend against the Lings. He wouldn't have had them come into his base. But Mortician going for the fast mech. Actually, going for the fast starport.
Yeah. And he's making a Vulture, so this is going to be a problem. He should be able to micro down all the Lings of True Touch. And True Touch already has very, very low eco. Like, he's got, like, CVZ eco right here. And he is going to have to make probably 2 Sunken if he wants to deal with this Vulture, assuming the micro is good. Although, that said, True Touch is getting Ling speed, so that might finish in time to deal with that. But that'll force even more Lings if he wants to deal with it with just Ling speed. So the Vulture rolls out now. And let's see if True Touch just bites the bullet and makes a Sunken, or if he tries to take care of it with Ling micro. Oh, he's lifting the starport. What is he going to do with it?
He has to move it over to get the control tower.
Oh, yeah, okay. Otherwise it would like be mannering his minerals or something.
No, the little cactus. They can't build on the cactus.
Oh, yeah. Good point, good point. Alright.
So, it's going to be 1 base Wraith versus 2 hatch Muta.
And it's 1 starport Wraith, which is not something you see. No, it's going to be a dropship? What? Oh, ooh. God. Sweet lord. This is not good. He needs to get an eBay. Please tell me he's getting eBay. Or going to make Goliath. No, he doesn't have an armory. I'm worried for this guy. He's still got a touch of time, but the Spire's like halfway done. Or there's going to be an awkward base race. Like, he's going to drop in like 4 Vultures. They're going to kill True Touch's economy. And then True Touch's Muta are going to kill everything of Mortician. Because he's not making anti-air. That's so weird.
It's going to be a serious problem.
I don't know what Mortician is doing right now. So he's got a 2 Vulture, 3 Marine drop loaded up. And the Spire is about to finish. If these Muta get out in time to intercept this dropship, this is just going to be like over. And he's getting Vulture speed. Yeah, he's putting everything into this drop. I don't understand this at all. And he hasn't. I mean, he doesn't have scouting, but if you do this kind of lane aggression, it doesn't work. Really fast Muta or Lurker is very common fault. And True Touch seems to know this is coming. Got some star sense. I don't know if he saw it or something.
Yeah, the overlord position to see
the overlord saw it. Okay. So he knows about this. He's probably just going to go behind the minerals and drop in a fairly imba spot, but he's making a Sunken Colony to deal with this. And the drop is off now. Ling's coming in, though. Can they kill this as it spawns? No, not quite, but the Muta can. So the dropship is done for. The Muta are going to kill that off. He can be obnoxious with a Marine or 2, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, surprisingly, doesn't chase the dropship. Wants to prevent damage to his very low economy drones. And the Vulture is going up here. Oh, self-destructs. Now a bunch of Muta are out, and what does he have? A bunch of panic turrets. 2 panic turrets and no panic glass on the way because all the money's going into panic turrets. And he is starting charm boosters. That's going to be a while.
Oh boy.
This is, I think, going to do terrible damage. The whole bottom of the mineral line is like so exposed. Picks off the SCV building the command center. And oh, he's building a Valkyrie. Oh, never mind. He's going for Valkyrie. Maybe he can hold this then. We'll see. If it depends on if its turrets go down. True Touch going into micro mode. Goliath and a Valkyrie is now out, and Valkyrie is really good against Muta.
Kind of.
But
Maybe.
he's got a pretty good spread. It's going to go down fast. And he's got no turrets to put it on to like run away and hide with. And another turret finishes the Goliath being micro back, but that turret is also down, so now all the defenses are down. But not that many more Muta on the way from True Touch. But he's going to have plenty of time here to kill SCVs. And there's not enough money for another Valkyrie.
Oh man, he really needs to be repairing the Goliaths.
Yeah, I think that's like all he can do right now. He's trying to just like... This game is kind of funny because it looks like when you play someone that's really new and you show up with surprise Muta, like they try to make every anti-air they have, like they'll make like Wraiths and Goliaths and Marines. And that kind of looks like what Mortician is trying to do right now. Will he get out enough Goliaths though? He does have range, but he's not abusing that range as much as possible. And he is holding off True Touch, but the Muta count is growing, and there's also a pair of Scourge here in response to that Valkyrie. But True Touch has built a little bit of eco behind this. And supply is now actually greatly favoring True Touch. Terran is down to just 28 supply. And, damn. Maybe with GG, maybe without.
Okay.
But either way, True Touch gets the expected win and ties it 1-1 LRM AoV.
That was kind of silly.
It was a little bit silly. It's a strange game.
Okay. So next up, another ZVT? Wow, another ZVT. Ziki versus Gilo.
Oh, okay. Well, we saw Glio beat Vadi last week and looked decent doing it, but all of a sudden the level of opponent for Glio just went up several tiers in ability. No offense to Vadi, but Ziki's just that strong of a player.
Let's get going.
So far, Outsider's been Ziki's map. We see him on this map in both weeks. So at the left-hand side, the 9 o'clock position, we do have the monster of the foreign scene, the king of the foreign scene, Ziki. And in the bottom position, as our blue Terran, we have AoV's Gleobird, who gave a pretty funny interview, I must say, if you read the STL, the Ministry of Silly Wars post. And again, I want to thank Swedish Brood War Initiative for hosting this awesome event. And if you guys haven't, you should consider donating to them because they do awesome work for Brood War, for Foreign Brood War.
So, two LRM games in a row, or two LRM ZPTs, two hatch mutas. Ziki doesn't go two hatch muta, I would think. I think we're gonna see Ziki play his normal stuff, because his normal stuff is just really strong. Unless LRM just got together before today's matches and just agreed, okay guys, we're just gonna go two hatch muta every game. Doesn't matter what matchup it is. Doesn't matter who we're going up against. Just everyone's just gonna two-hatch Muta. Should be amusing.
Ziki, I guess 9 drone scouting. I think he wants to make sure he doesn't lose to anything too bad, but he's gonna 12 hatch.
You know what? Here's what I think. I think that this is an allusion to the return of.
Wait, to the return of what?
To the return of. I think that they're all like, this is all celebrating the return of Cole. And every one of LRM's guys are going to go 2-hatch Muta, and then Cole comes out.
Yeah, Cole sort of, like, I was kind of disappointed, because, like, Cole sort of came back. I thought we were going to see him more, but then it kind of phased out. It never happened. He never really got back to his scary form that saw him get 4th at WCG. And wow, that was some sick micro over there with the drone by Ziki. Just putting the hurt on the SCV. sufficiently enough that the STV was just like, all right, fine, I'm going to let you put down your hatchery because you're just owning me in this fight. Like, Zeke took almost no damage, and the SCV went way down into the yellow, or, yeah, yellow.
Start the micro again. Alright. Okay. So, Zeke's spawning pool will be done pretty soon here. Gilo doesn't have...
Speaking of 2-hatch meta, we have gas before 3rd hatchery. So we're definitely going to see 2-hatch lair.
Well, here we go.
Which will be fine. Outsider has okay space for that. Lots of options there, and Zeke's control with everything is pretty disgusting. So I like
2-hatch Muta a lot on this map. I think 2-hatch Muta. I think this is one of the best maps for 2-hatch Muta. But really, Zeke's gonna go 2-hatch Muta too? Okay. Okay.
Oppa Ghosty style.
I guess. It does mean that he's not gonna have very many lings out. It's something that he probably could have punished Gilo for. I mean, Gilo doesn't have a wall. The bunker, it's a very, very easy run by. But with only 4 lings, shouldn't be an issue.
And Zeke is getting the ling speed, so considering that, I think we'll see him make a few more at some point and go for the run by as well. It's pretty common with 2-hatch meta. Get 12 lings, try to run by there, deny some turrets, wreak havoc, and it looks like Glio is going to be doing, what do you call it? Whoa, Ling's chasing some Marines back, as Glio trying to do some keep micro, doesn't lose anything though. But I was going to say, Glio's going for 2 racks Academy, so kind of the old school style, not the +1 5 racks. And the Spire's down for Zeke, who actually might not... No, there we go. We've got a few more lings coming up now for Zeke. He's got 2 more pairs on the way, at least right now. Yeah, making some more things. But he's only going to go up to 8.
Very standard, the very standard Terran build so far, just going 2 racks, expansion academy. So he should have stim done by the time the Mutalisks get there, but not range. Which, without range, the bunker certainly isn't going to be able to do anything. I think even with range, the bunker's not going to be in a position to help out much.
Oh, no.
And
that was pretty cute. Zeke took 2 of his lings that spawned and actually went and put them back to the backdoor minerals to see if Glio was trying to glitch in with an SCV anywhere.
Nice.
And will we see the run by attempt from Zeke? Yes, of course we will, and only 2 lings go down. But there's a beautiful wall of Marines at the top. Zeke reacts quickly though, attacking them. Firebat is there though, will clean them up. Does kill off 2 of the Marines, which does keep the medic count, or the Marine count, pretty low. I mean, we're looking at only 6 Marines out right now for Glio, with Muta about a quarter of the way done.
Wow, really odd to see a Firebat that early. Huh. I guess he wants to put on some pressure with the early Firebat? I mean, he's moving out now, but he's going to be moving out right into the Mutalisks. There's a creep colony on the way, reactionary as Zeke has the Overlord in position to see it. That army's not going to be big enough to get through a Sunken and 6 Mutalisks.
Yeah, I don't know what that's doing. That army is just going to get devoured.
Gilo didn't know about the Mutalisks. He never scouted out the 2-hatch Muta. So
well, let's keep in mind this is 2-hatch Muta. Range is only halfway done, so Zeke actually already kills the medic. And now he can just pick off these Marines at his leisure. Look at that micro. That is so good. So smooth, so effortless. Yeah. And now it's harass time. Turret's only just going up for Glio. They might be a little late. The natural is undefended. The main is totally unturreted, but there's a bunker there. I guess that's one way to do it.
And that bunker's not good enough.
3 Marines. 3 Marines. This turret is going to fall really fast. There's enough meat here to micro it down, no problem. And now the undefended racks can be camped by Zeke. And he is literally just camping these It's like a waiting hall. Oh, and actually now he leaves. For whatever reason, that was a bit interesting. Actually, 2 Marines are able to get out, but I think he can just start like attacking the barracks physically. And Glio is probably going to have to... There's not enough Marines. He's going to have to relift these barracks and relocate at some point. There's no other option for him. He's not going to be able to get out enough Marines to save them as Ziki camps it. He has to put in more turrets and relocate. He's trying to add another barracks in this cluster, but that can't work. There's 2 Marines. It can't possibly work. Yeah, that's cancelled. And again, oh, all of a sudden the Lings are flooding in. Mutiling. This is looking pretty over. Ghosting timing. GG. Leo, no match for the 2-hatch muta power of Ziki.
So that's 2-1 advantage for LRM right now. Moving to the next game versus Sabas.
Who's the player for LRM? Oh, okay. Polish player. I've not seen his PVZ yet, so that's going to be interesting for me. Bont has hit A- before. He is known a lot. We saw him in a lot of PVT games in last... I think it was Gambit's Cup. A lot of 2-base Reaver into Carrier, and other type, kind of what people would... Terrans, anyway, would refer to as abusive Protoss builds. But I have yet to see his PVZ, so this should be fun. And I think I'm ready when you guys are. And this is going to be on Overwatch, which is a 2-player map. So spawning in the top left-hand corner from LRM, we have Bont, and in the bottom right-hand corner, as our brown Zerg, we have Sabas AoV. And there is a very large skill difference in this matchup, as Sabas, I do believe, I might be selling him short, but I do believe he's only like C-, and Bont is an A- Protoss.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a difficult matchup, but really, is it any more difficult than the past 3 matchups we've seen?
Well, Ziki's so imba that no. This is a wider skill gap, though, I would say, than Baku versus Poetic.
Really?
Yeah, because Poetic was B- against A- Baku. This guy's Sabas is only C-, I think, and that's a pretty significant difference in skill level. Also, I'm looking at this map now and not understanding how you can forge FE. Or wait, never mind, I've been looking at the wrong spot. Oh yeah, I was looking at the wrong base. That's not the natural. It makes perfect sense now. Never mind. I was seeing 2 entrances. I'm like, I don't really understand how this is going to work. But it will work just fine. Bont has a pylon down, and he's saving up minerals, so I think we're going to see him go Nexus first because of the fast probe scout. So that's going to be pretty sweet eco for Bont. Very advantageous for him. In fact, he can just 14 next if he wants against this. Although he's actually, interestingly enough, blocking the hatchery, which is going to force the faster pool. But, wait, in the end, he's just going to make the forge, I guess. And not the Nexus. He's saving up minerals, though. Oh, no, the probe was just sent to the wrong spawn. He's going to make the Nexus first. Right? You got 400 minerals, man. Yeah, Nexus first.
Interesting. Sabas there. Going to be able to finish this? I mean, Spawning Pool's going to finish right around the same time as this finish. He's slightly ahead.
Yeah, the cannons will be a little bit slow. He's going to probably have to block for 10 seconds, 5 seconds, depending on the rush distance. But he's going to see it because the general rule of thumb is you need to put down your cannons approximately when the pool finishes. And his cannons or just a little bit behind that. He's going to make 2 cannons right away, though.
First 6 slings are out.
And you are a little bit quiet right now. Yeah, it's better, I think.
Yeah. The gateway. I don't think he's going to be able to fight the cannons. I don't think that's
Nah,
a good
they'll
idea.
finish in time.
I think that they might be able. They might not finish in time. Nah, they got it. Close. Very close.
Real nice time probe transfer too by Bonth. The probes were literally like finishing their mining as soon as the Nexus warped in, so he had that nicely figured out. And Sabas has his 3 bases up. And yeah, this is a little bit different. I mean, obviously on 4-player maps, you can just take another main, but in this case, that is not a possibility for Sabas. However, the this space, yeah, all these bases have gases. Well, this 4th gas will be fairly nice to take, as it is just a small ramp up to it that can be pretty easily defended with like Lurker and Sunk Spore. So that'll be easy for him to take. And let's see, core is almost done for Bonth, and has a probe sitting there, so I'm going to assume he's going to make Stargate. I guess it could be Citadel, but that's probably more of a Stargate positioning where he has that probe. Core is done, and the gas is done. Yeah, he's going to make the Stargate. So Stargate timing is just fine. It's actually pretty quick because of the Nexus and whatnot. He'll have that Stargate like halfway done before the Spires even started. So he should be able to get like 2 Overlord kills out of this.
Right. So sending out a few more things now. Actually, I think it's gather.
Interestingly, Sabas is leaving the Overlord just over the mid Nexus. Normally that leaves once the Stargate finishes, but Sabas is just going to leave it in the base of Bonth.
Yeah. I mean, the Overlord never gets away. The Overlord dies every time, but the difference is that you at least make the Corsair chase it and try to minimize casualties by having it run away. Leaving it over there, it gives you a little bit extra scouting time.
And it's worth noting Bonth is making a Dragoon, so he's going to kill that Overlord, I think, with the Dragoon, and then he's going to go try to get 2 Overlord kills with these Corsairs popping now, and he can go straight to killing Overlords as he had the probe in the base until his Corsair popped. So he knows exactly what Sabas is up to.
I'm not going to be able to find the Overlord to the far left, so just going to kill the main. How long is the Spire? Spire, 75-80% done, which means that it should be enough time for just 1 Overlord kill, and then the Corsair will have to leave.
And Sabas did prepare for this, did expect to lose a few Overlords, as he did put 3 into production, so he's responding to this correctly. We're not going to see some brutal supply block. In fact, we're not going to see a supply block at all, so that's really nice for Sabas. 1 Overlord kill is done, and the Scourge started, so will Bonth be watching this Corsair? Had he rallied the second Sair, I think he would have gotten 2 kills. Oh, he does have the second Sair, so he will get 2 kills. And now he needs to leave because the Scourge are done. Will he be paying attention? He's trying to get 3. Oh, Sabas is not turning the Scourge around yet. That's odd. It's actually going to be 3 kills because the Scourge are flying all the way to the base of Bonth. Now for the interception, not going to happen. So that is a beautiful start there from Bonth, who not only gets away with 13 Nexus first, he also gets, 3 Overlord kills? No, 4. 4. Yeah, so that, really nice. And 67 supply to only 39 supply, definitely reflecting just how much damage has been done there.
Yeah. This is a little bit of a risky move from Sabas, he's building 3 hatcheries in his
Oh
third.
god, oh god, there's no sunkens. If this SimCity isn't tight, this is not going to be good. The Zealots micromilling, Sebas has to pull back. One sunken is done, but he's trying to run in there. The drones have obviously been pulled already to try and glitch on top of the Zealots. The micro really needs to be good, especially with only one sunken. Lings are going to be popping, but again, this is going to be less time with drones, and he's going to lose drones in this attack. I almost feel like with the advantage Bond has, it's like a throwaway. He's picked off most of the drones mining now. He's still trying to get to the sunkens, but he's just going to go for the run by just kill drones, man. You've got an opportunity to kill so many. There's no Lings supporting these. And he's already killed 4 or 5, and now he's in the main, unbothered by the sunkens, and Sebas is going to have to evacuate the main until more Lings pop. Oh, no response. Oh god, no response. No response. What? There we go. 3 more kills, though, already. It's going to be 4, probably. 4! That is a lot of kills. 6 kills on one of that Zealot, 5 on the other. That is 11 kills between those 2 Zealots. I mean, a few of those might have been Lings, but there was only 6 Lings on the field when they entered, so Sabas right now is reeling. He's got a lot of drones at his third, though, but still, not good. Not good situation.
He's going to lose 2 more Overlords out.
Yeah, he is.
Space. Considered them pretty good defense until the Zealots finished the base that 5 kills.
That was probably... Oh god, no. No, the third base! Oh, the sport's just gonna finish in time. Okay, never mind. I thought it was gonna be like ransacked. But he's getting 2 kills, 3 kills. Okay, only 3 kills, but still. Man. That was close. But still, it's only 3 drone kills. And Sabas is starting to get an economy now, but, you know, Bonth already has the beginnings of an army and is almost double supply right now. 92 to 50. And already starting to take his third base, has 2 cannons going up and a Zealot there to defend it. Oh, he's going to harass the probe though, he's going to try to block the third from going down. It looks like Bomb's just going to run away and come back and take the third in a few seconds.
The Lings going to kill the High Templar, but not even close.
And now Bomb's going up to 6 gateways. Check that, 7 gateways. As an observer coming out.
Trying to get the kill on the DT, but the Overlords, I don't think they have speed. Not a lot they can do to pursue. And actually, running the Hydralisk into the DT. That DT 2 shots the Hydralisk. There we go. Which gets the kill on the DT. Now, one thing Sabas did do, well, did get an early 6 hatcheries. So it's not as if he had 5. He can produce off of that extra hatchery to help him turn up a little bit more, and it looks like he's done that. He has really nice surface saturation at all of his bases. But building up that hard is at the sacrifice of the army, so will these Hydralisks be enough to stop that I'm not sure.
He does have a decent number of Hydra, but there's a solid control group of Goons here and some Templar. And of course the Hydra are going to be really out of position, and they now immediately turn around. He's not set for a flank. He can definitely range down 1 or 2 of the hatches if he wants. It looks like he might just go here and pick off the Sunken Colony. Oh god, these drones could be super stormed. Thankfully he has vision, is able to run the drones away. Some of Bonth's army is actually chasing those, and now here come the Hydra, but he's got to spread them nicely. They're coming in a line, which is not good against Storm, and the first Storm is really good. The split is way too slow. Lots of damage, although some of the Goons have died to Sunkens. It's down to just 4 Goons, which ought to get cleaned up by reinforcements, especially if he takes the Archon down. Reinforcing lanes can do that. Storm goes down on the 2 Hydra there, and oh god, the Archon might actually finish, so this game not going Sabas' way at all. Trying to get the Sunkens down. And Sabas is gone from the game. So that was pretty quick, and I guess that's expected when you have an A- against a C-. But Bonth just used his huge advantage nice, and Sabas did not have the perfect micro he was going to need to defend that last little poke from Bonth. And now LRM just one set away from victory.
So, next set, Wallace uses Taro. PvP on top.
There's a ladder game called C-C, C+, Reaver only.
Let's get going. Game number 5. In the top right, as
People are saying that Hacklebeast is really, really, really hard to hear, so I don't know what you can do to get louder, but
absolutely nothing.
that's about as loud as you can get. Jawliteran says we are sending him a new mic for next week, probably.
In the top right, as the orange Protoss, it's LRM's Wallace. In the left position, as the blue Protoss, it is Entaro. Alright.
I need to go talk to like Muka or somebody that knows AoV and find out the skill levels of these guys, because I feel like every player I'm like, I'm not really sure exactly how good this guy is. But I do know that Wallace has hit B, and we saw him 2 weeks ago, I think it was, in a PvZ on Overwatch, and his PvZ looked pretty improved, and was a pretty solid victory. Obviously some lag in the game since lots of obs are leaving this.
And then last 2 weeks ago, now Entaro played against Biz on Fighting Spirit. If I seem to remember correctly, Entaro... No, I'm thinking of a different game. Yeah, Busy looked pretty strong in that game.
Yeah, Busy's usually good for looking pretty strong. Pretty good mechanics, pretty solid play overall. And I think he'll be facing off against who Technics in TLS semifinals?
Yeah.
If memory serves me.
I think that...
Oh. So Wallace is going to be going to his traditional Zealots and opening 2-gate slot against the 1-gate tech from Entaro, who fortunately is opting for Zealot before Core. But of course, this is a non-ramped map, and by definition, those almost always have like wider chokes, so he's not going to be able to just like hold this choke with Zealots. He's going to have to micro and deal most likely with a Zealot going into his mineral line and other obnoxious things.
Some 2-gate Zealots historically rather strong on maps without ramps. So Towcroft being an old school map doesn't have it. Could see a little bit more traction on it, but normally once you get past C- rank, you start to be able to deal with 2-gate Zealot with your early goon. You just gotta be careful about the micro, not let the Zealot get too many probe kills, or not get any probe kills, really.
And another problem, this shouldn't be an issue at this level of play, but a lot of lower level players, 2-gate works really nice because even if they hold it off, they're busy microing like mad and they forget to make probes. And so you end up in a good spot anyway, just as virtue of the poor macro from the person getting attacked. Second gateway, pretty common response here. Has a goon coming out now. And in comes the first slot from Wallace. But there's 2 slots already out for for Intaro, so he's gonna have to wait for 3 before he can begin to do anything. Actually, this is gonna be pretty nice. It's 2 slots in a goon against 3 slots. There are more rallied out across the map though, and Wallace is going to go with the tech follow-up. So here we go. How will Intaro do against the pressure? He's made a battery actually, so really taking this super seriously. One Zealot's getting a bit surrounded here, is being regenerated with the battery. Goon getting off a bunch of free hits. Nothing has been diverted to the mineral line yet. Now there's 2 goons out, and if he gets a couple more, it's going to be really easy to micro around with the goons. Even 2 is enough where you can start to do something. There are now 4 slots here from Wallace, but how damaged are they? One of them is pretty damaged. The other 2 have good health. And in the meantime, still Zealots being produced for Wallace. And Wallace again moves in for the attack, trying to at least get rid of the Zealots, but again, oh, Wallace is going to try to block the entrance and trap units off. Can't quite get it, though. And the Goon mass is now 4, so I think we're going to see these Zealots get taken care of pretty quickly. And with the addition of Shield Battery, everything being Reagan, really nice. And now Wallace has to deal with the counter pressure from Intaro here, whose Goons do have range now. So Wallace fortunately has 2 goons coming out and has started his own range, but there's going to be a big open window with range versus no range timing.
I feel that Intaro's letting an opportunity slip away from him. The goons have bigger range than the Zealots, so that entire process where the Zealots had to run back to base, he should have been firing the entire time with the goons. I mean, he got 1 Zealot kill. He's going to be able to do a little bit more damage to this one. But there were a lot of instances where his goons stopped firing or got blocked by his own Zealot. Oh, here comes the engagement. I'm surprised that Wallace wants to engage this, but he might figure this is the best opportunity he has. His goons don't have range, so it's going to be up to Intaro to micro really well, but he loses all of his Zealots, doesn't want to deal with that, and he's going to back up. I think that if you have the range advantage, you really ought to try to pressure it as hard as possible. Even though straight up A move versus A move, his 6 goons should lose to that number of Zealots. I think that he can micro it down. He may never get a decisive victory, but he should be able to do a lot of damage to these Zealots and start to whittle down Wallace's numbers. You really gotta punish him.
Yeah, that's true, and especially in the open ground, there's some flexibility to move and kind of move past the Zealots and get on top of the goons. I want to note both players have gone up to 3 gateways, so we're going to see quite a few Dragoons coming out. And I'm surprised that Intaro is not more abusing the fact that he has range and that Wallace doesn't.
Okay. It's hard to use. It's going to be hard to find perfect engagements where you're able to get shots off on the enemy goons and then retreat before they can't get back. I understand that, but oh,
that's
really
bad. Wallace,
good.
yeah, Wallace led with goons too, which is not good.
Picking off that 1 free goon is going to be really nice. He just needs to micro a little bit here, not let the Zealots get too many shots off, and this should be an easy win for him. There we go, all the Zealots down but 1, and when that last Zealot falls, he'll be able to just turn it around. Wallace's range is done, but it doesn't matter when they're that much of a good advantage, but he's pulling back. Intaro.
Yeah, surprisingly doesn't want to chase.
Fight. Okay.
Maybe he just wanted to regroup, I'm not sure. But Intaro does have 9 goons to the 7 of Wallace. Although Wallace is going to have 10 by the time he gets there, so actually Wallace is going to be okay.
Alright, both players have started their tech, and both players have observatories warping in, so nothing
like
aggressive.
identical timing too.
And here comes the engagement again. Which player is going to get the better jump? It looks like Intaro is going to get a few more shots off. But now,
oh no! Spoon stop, and he picks off 2. Nice for Wallace there. Oh, and Intaro's low on gas, being forced to make a Zealot. And Wallace expanding behind this and not being forced to make a Zealot.
Going to regroup up, and then is Wallace going to... Nope, Wallace is going to go for it. Oh, this is good.
Bad position for Wallace, but now he's putting his goons into a better arc, but he's fighting away from his base, so I think Intaro might have more. I don't know who's getting the better of this fight. It looks like Intaro's ahead now in goon count.
Yeah,
and yeah, Wallace forced to retreat.
And that's just because Wallace didn't have all of his goons at the beginning of the fight. If they weren't just coming over the ramp, so they had to come in as kind of a line, that would have been a victory for Wallace, but instead, small victory for Intaro. And
Oh,
then,
oh no, Wallace is getting trapped on that little thing. And one goon, okay, he notices it and pulls back and regroups. And now Antaro's going to continue the pressure. He shouldn't be. One goon goes down, and several of the others are very low on health. So again, we're getting this dynamic where both players kind of chase the other almost to the natural and then back off.
yeah, so Tau Cross doesn't have any low ground, but after any high ground, I mean. But after this match, there's going to be a really nice trench between these two bases. That there should be high ground after this match, because these goons just keep going back and forth over the same line.
Wallace wants to sit outside of his natural choke, and he's actually just putting down a pylon too to add to the defensive ability. Too many goons for Antaro to engage though, and through that all, Wallace has gotten a nice supply advantage. He's gotten 10 supply ahead, and he definitely has the faster net nexus.
Yeah. Faster Nat Nexus, and actually has a 12 supply lead right now, which is quite large. I'm surprised he has that big of a supply lead. I guess most of it's in probes. He does have significantly more probes right now. And that's going to be rough. With Antaro being... I mean, Antaro has similar goon numbers for now, but with that much quicker of a natural nexus...
Antaro's going to go Reavers. Wallace is going to go Mass Goons.
He's adding the Citadel.
Oh, Antaro's going to get shuttle speed, and knowing he's behind and try to harass his way back into it a little bit.
The Citadel's done for Wallace, but is he going to be getting Templar Archives? I mean...
he's getting leg speed, but I don't know about Archives yet.
Is getting leg speed, okay. I was wondering, because it seemed a little bit late for DTs, a little bit early for HTs, but no, going for the speed lots. And yeah, building another gateway, and another gateway. So up to 6 gateways off of 2 bases, and he's going to go for a really big speed lot, very big speed lot Dragoon fight.
And he is going to go up to, well, he was making 7 gateways, no, 8 gateways, but now he's going to go 8 gate. So we're going to have kind of the all-in here from Wallace with lots of speed lot reinforcements.
Man. So, I guess Antaro just made the absolute most important unit in the game. That one Reaver will decide whether he has a chance or not. But man, that's a lot of goons. That is a lot of goons.
Before. It's like perfectly timed. Like his gateways are finishing, his speed is almost done, so he's going to suddenly have a bunch of reinforcing zealots in this engagement. And you can see the Antaro set up at the bridge, so Wallace sees that with his obs, so he's like, alright, I'm going to reposition, I'm going to come at you from the bottom side, where there is more room for my army to be spread out and allow me an efficient engagement.
Yeah, and that's very important. Good scouting by the observer, also good scouting by the probe to see the army coming in. And
here we go, we have the engagement. And there's the Reaver, but the Reaver...
There's the Reaver! Oh, the Reaver!
The shuttle almost goes down. He's going to target down the Reaver really fast, not going to get the life out of it that he needed. I think Wallace has more goons, and the reinforcements from 8 gates versus 3 is probably going to prove to be overwhelming now. The goon count way in favor of Wallace here, and it's looking like AoV is going to go down 4-1 to LRM. Where's the reinforcements? They need to be sent across the map, but the goons are punching through right now. At least 15 goons or so left over for Wallace. Actually, a lot are running by into the main. That's a bit unusual. I'm not sure what that's all about, unless he's trying to get probe kills. And now the Zealots reinforcing. The last cannon at the natural goes down, and I don't think there's any response Antaro can have. When you're drone drilling, or probe drilling against 15 or so Dragoons, that is a less than optimal situation. And the reinforcements are just going to pour out of the gates. Actually, he makes 4 Templar. That's a bit surprising. And he's holding for the moment, but he's down to 39 supply against 106 for Wallace, who's sent a probe out now. He's ready to take a 3rd base. Reinforcing Zealots also coming in, and there's the GG. LRM 4-1 over AoV.
Ironically, if he didn't have shuttle speed,
then
that shuttle wouldn't have flown so far, and he might have not lost the Reaver so fast. Maybe. Oh well. Well, it's got the early expo, and that was just the deciding factor of the game. Alright, and that's going to conclude it for LRM versus AoV. LRM taking it 4-1. Second set of the day is going to be between Speed Bunny / Pain and
Stealth Bunny.
Stealth Bunny. My bad. Stealth Bunny / Pain and IWL. Be going into that very shortly, but I do believe we have a video to be playing before we get into that set.
Yeah, sorry, I know Bertie who runs those teams, and he is fanatical. So if I let it get called Speed Bunny on stream, he'd probably give me crap for ages.
Okay. Terribly sorry. But when I think of a rabbit, I don't think of stealth. I think of
I know, right? I know, right? So the question I think everyone really wants to know is, are we going to see Fengsy today? I don't know what the status is on his lag, his cross-regional lag stuff.